Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fox Den. I'm sorry I disappeared for a while. I'm attending nursing. I am attending nursing school, so I'm doing my CNA stuff, and it's been really tough on me. So I might disappear every now and then just to focus on that. But for now, you have me. Now I'd like to thank Lee K for asking me to do this. I did respond to you that I was maybe gonna do an Arknights What If. And well, I wasn't wrong. I did say I was gonna probably do one. I just needed to get back into it. Thankfully, my progress was saved, and I had all my old units. All the ones you see on screen are my main ones. Yes, I don't run all 6 stars or 5 stars. I tend to run what works best for me. Anyways, enough about that. Oh, I guess I could say this. Will Izuku have a quirk? No. He is the doctor. Gonna be the doctor. But things are gonna be a little more different. Anyways, sit down, relax, and enjoy the story. We begin not during Izuku's birth, and not during his middle school years. No. We begin during his high school years in UA. This timeline, Izuku is way older. In terms of age perspective, he's 6 years older than Bakugo. He's currently in his high school. The UA. He's currently in UA under the tutelage of Recovery Girl. Because in this universe, this what if, Izuku has an affinity for medical knowledge. And he went to UA's newly formed medical course. Throughout this time in this course, he would learn everything about nursing, doctoring from Recovery Girl. He would get basic medical practices. He would understand basic stuff like the PCU, ER, basic diseases, and certain codes and terminologies. But this is when, at the end of his time at UA, when Bakugo's... Oh no, I'll make it a 10-year age gap. Yeah. When Bakugo was just entering his junior high years... No. Wait, no. Yeah, I'll just say... It'll still be 5 years, because Bakugo will be in his junior high years by the time Izuku graduates, because Yeah. So Izuku would graduate, and he would go talk to his mother and little Bakugo about saying he's graduated. However, this is where everything would change. As Izuku would say, "Mother, I have been thinking. I'm going to join the army." Inka Midoriya, the supportive mother, would instantly respond with, "Izuku dear, are you sure this is what you want? You would be fighting people and killing them. Something the opposite of what you wanted to do originally." Izuku would respond with, "Well, yes, I will be hurting people, but thankfully, I'm gonna sign a form saying that due to my religious reasons, I will not carry a firearm. So I can just focus on saving people. And that's my goal." And so on and so forth. He would also talk to little Bakugo, at least Bakugo saying, "How's it, Bakugo, Katsuki, how's it, little man?" Bakugo saying, "I'm good, Uncle Izuku. Why are you here? I know you're quirkless, so don't try to look down on me." With Izuku leaning down to Bakugo's height, because Izuku's 6 foot in this right now, he would go down to Bakugo's height and give him a little head pat, saying, "I'm not looking down on you, little Katsuki. Hell, you could be the greatest hero you want to be. Just remember to look forward and never let the past hold you behind." As well, that little graduation party would go on until the next day, where Izuku would get up early and, well, leave letters for his mother saying that he's off to join the army. Now this is where a little time skip will happen. To the USJ. Well, not to the USJ. To Bakugo's time in UA. He just entered UA, and he finds out that... Well, no, wait, sorry. This is where we're cut to Bakugo in his entrance exam. He would see multiple people wearing this symbol. Symbol of a rook. Of the rook chess piece. Watching around the place. Bakugo assumes like, oh, this is probably the security company. And goes on his way. This is where we'll cut to Izuku, who has just recently left the army with his squad, with his platoon, and formed this paramilitary pharmaceutical company known as Rhodes Island. And he's in meeting with Nezu and Recovery Girl, saying, with them talking about business, with Izuku mentioning, so, Nezu, I'm back and I want to propose something to you. Nezu would ask, and what's this? I would like to propose that if you help me headhunt for new talent for Rhodes Island, I will give you and Recovery Girl a favor each time you help me with someone, with my hiring process. With this, Nezu would instantly agree with Recovery Girl nodding along, because getting a favor from Rhodes Island is viewed as a gold mine. Because during that little time skip, Rhodes Island has become known for popping in whatever you need them. Though while most countries hate them for intervening in military matters or pharmaceutical matter or medical matters, they're there for people who can't defend themselves. So much so that most heroes actually despise them, because they save more people than the heroes do. And actually, most villains look up to Rhodes Island. Since, after all, the thing about being in the medical occupation, you learn a thing or two, like treating every patient the same, no matter what. Doesn't matter if they're a hero, doesn't matter if they're a villain, doesn't matter if they're a mass murderer, doesn't matter if they're a rapist. You treat them the same and give them the same treatment you would anyone else. And this is what a lot of heroes hate. Because most villains would go to Rhodes Island to get healed. And this is what Nezu would bring up as well, saying, I would accept your deal, Doctor, on one condition. Hand over All for One. With Izuku, the doctor, saying, I'm sorry, Nezu, but I cannot do that. He's currently under Rhodes Island's care. He's actually been the one, funding us in a way. He's actually not a bad guy. He just wants to change the world. Get rid of the corrupt politicians and everything. And frankly, while I don't support him, he supports us, the fact that we're just helping people in need. Doesn't matter who they are. No, wait, sorry. Scratch that. I accidentally skipped a lot of things, so... Scratch that. I skipped my story a little. With Izuku agreeing on not the all for one terms, can figure about that. Izuku and Nezu would sign the contract about Nezu and them helping Rhodes Island get recruits, non-hero recruits. That was the main dilemma for Izuku. And then afterwards, after they signed the contract, Izuku would go on his way. not Bakugo not seeing him, but not knowing who he is due to the doctor's outfit. He would then begin his van with his group following behind him and go on his way. As he gets back, he'll be greeted by a stack of paperwork sent over by Nezu, with Izuku commenting that he's a lot faster than he was originally. And he'll begin looking through the applications, and he would see a couple that would catch his eye. One that goes by the code name Texas. She's from the American military, who's just recently retired from service, and she's looking for work. She's skilled in management, organization, and just standard warehouse stuff. Izuku, seeing her skills being valuable to his efforts, and especially organizing medical supplies and keeping medical supplies on a short leash, he would hire her. He would decide to hire her. But of course, since he is also a medic, he decides to hire on more medical personnel, since he won't be the only one there. He looks through the application and sees a lot of promising assets, but he sees one that catches his eye indefinitely. He sees someone from Russia with the code name of Nightingale, a old Russian battle medic with a retired Russian battle medic with the code name Nightingale. So, looking through her file, he would see that she's exceptional at healing. She's actually has some pretty decent psychology work. And so he would hire her on the spot. This when Izuku decides to try to hire more security personnel. He would see a couple. He would actually see an application that's not turned by Nezu, nor Recovery Girl, but one of his underground contacts. He would see a German girl with a code name W. Her expertise is explosives. Izuku thinks, well, she might not be the best for defensive operations. She'll probably be a go-to for more offensive operations, for like helping citizens in Iraq, and she'll be good for that. So Izuku would hire W on the spot as well. This and of course the other two, I don't remember their names off the top of my head. Sorry. Like, I have them. I have those two as well. Zima, sorry. Yeah, the bear girl, Zima. He would see go through more security personnel and run into this girl who he doesn't know what country she's from because it's blank on her application. Izuku shrugs on this and sees that she is essentially well for defensive operations. Thinking this would be, and seeing how she has some pretty good commanding skills under her belt, Izuku would hire her as head of security. The next day Izuku would then go to sleep and wait for the next day, where he suspects hopefully one of his applicants will arrive. The next day will arrive and Izuku gets into his office. As soon as he enters the door, he would see this girl with black hair and wolf ears, dressed in a white coat with a red belt around her with some shorts on, sitting in a chair waiting for him. He would go to behind his desk and sit down, saying, "So you're Texas, I presume?" With Texas responding like, "Yes, I am, and I heard you saw my application, and I got your email saying that you wanted to meet me for an interview." Izuku nodded, saying, "Yes, I do. Now, care to tell me why you think this job will be the best fit for you?" and why you applied for this place in the first place. Tex was just going to basic reasoning about why she wants to work here, and then stuff, and he would hire her. The same process would happen to the other guys, the other 4, and Izuku would have his group set up. At least his starting group. He wants to get a big organization, but his organization is just getting started. Since he has basic personnel thanks to his connections in the army, he has basic security grunts that he manages everything himself. But now he can actually start getting everything off the ground with his specialty operators. And so, the next few days... Izuku would begin scheduling and working up his base operations. Until an incident happens where he gets a call from Recovery Girl. With Izuku picking up the phone saying, this is a doctor from Arknights. What do you require? With Recovery Girl saying, Izuku, I need your help on UA quickly. Izuku responding with, what happened? An incident happened during training, and there's a bunch of students hurt. Izuku saying what caused it. Quirk malfunctioned by a student named Bakugo Katsuki. A student named Bakugo Katsuki used as a support item, and his quirk malfunctioned, causing the entire arena to explode. Izuku's simply just yelling to Recover Girl, I'll be there right away. As he'll get up, he'll call in Mirin, Nightingale, and Zima and Texas for defensive support to go with him. 20 minutes later, students and heroes would see the Rhodes Island van appear in front of UA. Assuming the worst, get on an offensive formation, an attack stance, but they just see the doctor and them rushing into UA, ignoring the villain alarm, and the other hero teachers, basically. Going into Recover Girl's office, with Izuku saying, I'm here. Recover will look at the 2 other medics, saying, so are those two next, right behind you, are your medics? Izuku saying, I'll introduce them later. For now, let's save these students. And as 4 hours go by, with Recover Girl leaving temporarily to calm down the other heroes that responded to the villain alarm, and calm down the students to explain the situation, that she called in Rhodes Island help, since by herself she wouldn't be able to heal half a class worth of students. So she called in another person who is just as experienced in medical as her. As the end of the 4 hours would end, after the 4 hours would end, all the other students would wake up. With Denki waking up first, seeing Texas sitting down across from him, sitting down by the door. With Texas and Zima sitting at the door, guarding it. He would look up and just see those 2. Of course, Denki, being Denki, would assume, are those beautiful girls here for me? With this catching the attention, he would say this out loud unknowingly, catching the attention of Izuku, saying, so you're awake. Good. Get your stuff and get going home. Your parents are worried for you. Denki would turn his head right to see, Izuku. Of course, Denki being Denki would assume, so they're taken. Sad. And get up and go on his way. This would be also what happens to the other students until Bakugo wakes up. He would see the doctor, with Izuku responding, saying, Katsuki, you're awake. Thank goodness. I wouldn't... If Bakugo's saying, "Who are you?" Izuku saying, "Oh, right, sorry. I forgot. My equipment makes me hidden from the public eye due to special reasons." Izuku would look around, seeing that it's just him and the members of Rhodes Island inside the nurse's office. Izuku would then look towards Texas. Texas would nod and take out her sword to slice the camera off. To take out the cameras. Zima would then step outside the door to guard it. With Izuku then taking off his hood and pulling out his mask, saying, "It's been a while, Bakugo. It's been a while, little Katsuki. How's everything going?" And that's what ended off today, guys. I just need to relax a little bit for my class. Sorry if it's a little rushed. If you want to remake this to be a little more detailed, tell me down below. But for now, this is kind of the story structure I'm going with. It's been Fox, and I hope you guys see you next time. Ta-ta. If I have time, I might record tomorrow.